Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Before I get to the video, there will be a little bit of spoilers in there, so I want to give you guys a chance right now to skip this video and wait until after you watch Power Rangers Once and Always, because I'll be talking a little bit about that. If you have not seen it yet, that is. If you have not seen Power Rangers Once and Always, don't watch this video until you watch the movie and come back here and listen to what I have to say about it. So, going to give you guys a good chance. Excuse me, going to give you a few minutes to consider it. And if you don't, and if you want to be spoiled, going to have to talk about what I have to talk about. So, a few minutes, a few moments, a few seconds. All right. Too late. Too late, because I'm going to talk about it, because I just watched it today. Power Rangers Once and Always, a 30th, as you know, this year, this August, will be 30 years since Power Rangers was on the air. As you know, Power Rangers, their footage was taken from the Super Sentai series. In fact, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was taken from the Sentai series Kyuryu Sentai Zyuranger. And the Zord footage that you see, including the White Ranger footage, is derived from, and the monsters also on that show, from the second season, is derived from Gosei Sentai Dairanger. And the third season, with the Alien Rangers and the Ninja Zords, the Shogun Zords, and the monsters from that show, from the third season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is derived from Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. But the first season, obviously, was 30 years ago. I want to talk a little bit about it. And I liked it. I've been a Power Rangers fan since the very beginning. I've watched the show since the very beginning. You know, I watched all the episodes from Mighty Morphin to, right now, Dino Fury, you know, which is really amazing for itself. I know I'm kind of begging Hasbro to get Beast Morphers and Dino Fury out on DVD so I can collect them, you know, including the specials, including this one. I gotta tell you, this was not only just a thank you, a thank you love letter to all the fans out there of Power Rangers, but this, you know, it just gave us some closure about, this is what happened. You know, I'll tell you the gist of the story. Rita was brought back as Robo Rita Repulsa, who decided to bring her a couple of her Robo minions with her, Robo Snizzard and Robo Minotaur. So what happened was Trini sacrificed herself, and that's how they finally written off Trini Kwan. As you know, Tui Trang did pass away. Died in a car accident in 2001. This is an ultimate tribute to her. And decided, so since they couldn't get Tui Trang, obviously they brought in Charlie Kirsch as Min, Trini's daughter. So that's the deal. So they focused the story on not only on the return of Rita and what her plan was, but also on Min. It all started when, you know, when Trini did sacrifice herself to save Billy, and Walter Manuel Jones back as Zack, which it brings more of a darker tone, and not, you know, they have a well around of the campiness that they had back in the 90s, but also combine that with a little bit of darker tone. It was the most well-rounded episode of Power Rangers in Power Rangers history I've ever watched, because it has a reunion nostalgia. It had the the darker tone and a little campiness that went with it, you know. that were missing from there. I'll get to that. I remember, it started off Billy and Zach at Trini's house debating whether or not they should tell Min everything. Because, and, Zach was trying to keep it within the, like Zordon's rules, but Billy convinced him and said, listen, Zordon, and some of the rules are meant to be broken. This is very important, and we ought to tell her. But then she came home, overheard them talking, dropped her stuff. And then, in the back of her mind, she wanted revenge. She wanted revenge. But, Zach's like, no way. You're staying out of this. We'll find a way to defeat Rita. But then, all of a sudden, Billy says, I got some ideas and all that. And then Min just really laced into Billy, blaming him for what happened to Trini. What happened to her mom. Which is like, why you blame Billy? Why is it his fault? And then we come to find out that like a few, like over a year ago, in the storyline, where Alpha 8 discovered, hey, we found a way to get Zordon back. Billy says we got to capture the particles of the Z-Wave. So as they were doing that, and unfortunately, they all thought the Zordon was going to rematerialize, but then Alpha 8 realized that's not Zordon, and then all of a sudden there was some like dark purple particles. Come to find out that was Rita, and then those particles zipped into Alpha 8's body and transformed Alpha 8 into Robo Rita. And Billy's like, no, it can't be. This is not happening. So, but there's a new Alpha out, Alpha 9, who sounds like the actual Alpha, which is really, really crazy. It's like, so okay, and I almost got confused, like, okay, Alpha's there, and then found it was Alpha 8 instead of Alpha 9. So very different Alpha. So this is the 9th Alpha they're dealing with. So and I could not believe it. I was like, whoa, that's dark. I was kind of shocked. They almost brought Zordon. They're trying to bring Zordon back. I don't think it's meant to be. But then you come to find, and then she explained that those evil particles from the Z-Wave was her, and she found a body in Alpha. In Alpha 8, which is great. A former Alpha has now become Robo Rita. There's the twist in the storyline. And Billy, Billy was hard on himself, but he turned the command center into his own command base that he called Cranston Technologies, which is really crazy to say the least. And so, as you know, Min's like the typical teenager with attitude, But then, it was in Angel Grove, and then realizing that, hey, she saw on the phone that there was an attack on the juice bar. So Rita had a plan to capture Rangers to use for a machine so he could travel. Her ultimate goal was to travel back in time and to destroy the Rangers before they were recruited by Zordon. I was like, that's a good. I think she's trying to pull a Rancic, like if she can't rule the present, she'll just rule the past, But this time around, she wants to talk to her younger self. I felt like Doc Brown. That space-time continuum, you see yourself, it will screw up everything, Marty. I was like, I need to see Christopher Lloyd coming out. You can't do that. You can't see yourself. You see your younger self, it's gonna screw up the space-time continuum. And that's probably what the bad guys want to do. They probably don't even care. Anyways, all kidding aside, though. So basically, Rita was capturing Ranger energy. She captured Beast Nate. She captured Connor and Trent. She captured Merrick. She captured the Phantom Ranger. Snizzard. So Snizzard and Robo Snizzard and Robo Minotaur were doing her dirty work. But then and then they decided, so the Rangers were getting too smart, and so Rita's like, you know, you know, so Rita was like, okay, I gotta draw out the Rangers. I need more of their energy. And then he said, so they decided, well, let's get putty attacks from all over the. So Alpha 9 alerted the Ranger teams from all the other planets and all the other cities and said, hey, they're trying to capture you. Be careful, So, but then you got Jason, Tommy, and Kimberly kidnapped as well. As you know, obviously, their actual characters did not appear because Amy Jo Johnson was working on a project. Jason David Frank was working on Legend of the White Dragon project at the time before his untimely death in November of 2022. Austin St. John was going for some legal problems, which I think they've been settled now because we haven't heard much from Austin St. John, and we haven't heard from him for quite a while. So sometimes no news is good news, and that means so that's going to obviously Tree Twang has passed away. So seeing Walter Emmanuel Jones and David Yost back in there, as Billy and Zach and Billy, it was really cool to see. Adam and Aisha, they say they're going to be dealing with the Trubian Empire as an SPD reference, So, yeah. And so I think Adam and Aisha, so it was really cool to see that. Also, yeah, gosh, what else is there? It was so many cool things in that movie. It's about an hour long, just to let you know. So some many references from episodes, like when Min did the Praying Mantis style, Plague of the Mantis, that was Plague of the Mantis. That was really, really cool. And so I was like, and it gave me an idea. I said, well, when we get Charlie, if Hasbro decided to adapt Osama Sentai King Oja as a Power Ranger season, Min could return as the Yellow Ranger because in the Mantis style, and that way that's another way to honoring her mother. It's like, okay, I'm going to put these are one of my mother's powers. I need Ranger powers of my own, and then like a mentor said, hey, this could honor your mother. She learned the Mantis style. You be the Yellow Mantis Ranger. That'd be really cool, if they decide to do that. But I don't know for sure. I really don't know. I highly doubt it, but we shall see. We shall see. You know what I mean? Right now, we're going to worry about one season. Cosmic Fury's up next. As far as the season goes, might I digress? All right, let's go back to this. So she tried to fight Rita by herself, and but let's go back to the Angel Grove situation. Juice bar. They had the juice bar almost similar, but a little smaller, a little crisp. About that, and the crazy part about it is that she tried to fight some putties and tell the citizens go away, and then all of a sudden Rocky and Zach came and they started fighting the putties, and then I remember Zach being a guardian, and also he had to be a parent in this situation as well. He said, you deliberately disobeyed me, give it, And Zach knew the morpher was gone. Zach knew she had the morpher and she would try to do it, but she couldn't morph. But then, and then they teleported to the command center, and to the command center, and tries, and then, they tried to say hi, and they said, can we have the room for a minute? And then Zach tried to explain to her that being a Power Ranger is not just personal gain or anything like that, or vengeance or anything like that. And that's probably the reason why you couldn't morph, because I think the morpher was not responding because of what the morpher felt that Min was going through right now, because emotionally she was not ready. She was going, emotionally she had a lot of anger, a lot of vengeance, and I think it's like you have to be very, very careful in Power Ranger storyline. You have to be very careful. Humans have to be very, very careful, because sometimes vengeance can poison your mind. Look at Dr. Adler's situation. Look at Rancic. But Rancic turned himself around. Dr. Adler refused to turn back. And that's the only difference. Sometimes some humans decide, well, I'll betray planet Earth because I'm angry. You can't do that. It's like, wow, It's like, like in real life, like people want to turn back on their beliefs and religions and family traditions and being with their parents and all that because they're angry. That you want to choose that path. That's just your deal, So anyways, like Cole Evans said, revenge can only poison you, and and I was afraid that Min was going to go down that path, but Zach brought her back, saying, hey, listen, vengeance has never been the answer. These powers can be used for justice. What being a true Power Ranger is all about. It's about helping others, helping people, saving the earth. And then Min, but you stay here, Alpha can keep you company. But then Alpha was occupied with trying to get everything going, and then all of a sudden she grabbed one of those invisibility things, and Alpha says, that's not a good idea. And then she took the rad bug. The rad bug got a makeover. It's more like a convertible now. But then, and I think Rita knew what was happening, because now that, the Minotaur and the Snizzer were, hit, and the funny part about it is there's like so many crazy references in there, like, Catherine was manning a crane. And it's like, oh, the Crane Zord from the third season of Power Rangers when she took over for Kimberly, and the crazy part about that is that you can fast forward and then Rita, like I said, when Min tried the praying mantis on Rita, captures Rita, and Rita captures her, but the Rangers knew that Rita would be occupied. So they try to blow it up, and then Rita stops and, Min, are you okay? But then Rita meant to go destroy Billy, but then Min took the hit. Min took the hit, and then Zach couldn't live himself. I thought Min's gone, but then the morpher glowed yellow, and then it hit it threw memories of Trini or her mom inside Min, and then she got up and Billy goes, the morpher. So I think she realized what Billy was trying to do and understood that Billy made a mistake and he's trying to correct it. And so I think, what Min kind of realized, I got to help some way, and she took the hit. And now she became a Ranger. The morphing sequence back in the day, it was really strange to see the two original Rangers, and you got Catherine and Rocky. And then you got Min, which is really, but they did it the old school way, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-toothed Tiger, Tyrannosaurus, but the morphing sequence was like crisp and clean, not like the Japanese footage. And then the calling of the Zords, oh my gosh, the Zords. It reminds me of Transformers, Michael Bay style almost. It almost reminds me of that, but they tried, but they made it crisp, but it's a lot more crisper and cleaner than the Michael Bay Transformers scenes, But, and they did like a modern day version of when the Zords was summoned, when it was from the Zeo Ranger footage, But it was like a more crisp and like a more CGI version. It was really mind blowing. The only thing I was disappointed in, when the Rangers called in weapons, they did not do the Mega Blaster. That was when they put the when they put the weapons together, and that's what they could have done to destroy Rita. Then you got, they didn't do the Megazord sequence has been initiated. Megazord activated when the Megazord transformation, it was, the cockpit was like totally crisp and new. I was like, and usually the Red Ranger would be the leader, be sitting at the forefront. Was Billy, who basically did this project, was sitting at the forefront. Men, men, can you handle things here? And yeah, we'll handle the Minotaur. While Min and Billy decided to try out, Min and Billy working together, which was really cool. It was a really beautiful thing when Min realized, I'm going to help Billy. I'm going to help the Rangers. These are my family. So, anyways, trying to, say, do what I do, Min. Hey, the power crystals as that joystick handles, which is really, really crazy. But then after, because Snizzer grew big and Magic Wand, make my monster grow, Rita, and then was it Blue Ranger hit Rita through the power lance and thought Rita was eliminated. But then, but then they had oh shoot, then they had the Snizzer. Snizzer was destroyed by Kimberly's pink power bow, but did not drew giant size. So they probably made up for that, which is really, really cool. And then they had the Megazord Saber, the Mega Power Sword, and they did a Hi-Ya, and then knocking down was really super cool. That which is really, really super cool. Then oh shoot, then it was and then the whole, Rita came back to life. And holy cow, what's going on? I thought, but then afterwards, they tied Rita up. Rita was like couldn't break free of the fence there in her palace, the Moon Palace, the Bandora Palace. They got a brand new crisp look. The CGI systems, the effects and everything was really, really cool. Then then Zach decided this is for Trini blasting, and then they just they freed the Rangers. They freed the other Rangers. They got back safely and all that. And since the Snizzer was destroyed, the snakes are gone, which is really, really crazy. So, but then, they had the ending scene where, Min apologized to Billy. Billy said, understood where Min was coming from and all that. And so and he goes, well, your family. So if we're family, you're grounded. He joked. I don't know if he was joking with her or not. He said, you were using the rad bug. And the rad bug was for Ranger Emergency. But the crazy part, like I said, also the crazy part about it was, my boyfriend's in trouble. I'm like, they decided to include that scene. So, and they had putty surrounding the other guy, and then men just, ran over the putties and that part, and then the two guys hug each other. I'm like, all right, no big deal. I was like, that's just a random thing. But then again, I think it's part of the journey of men, helping others out. You know what I mean? I think that's why the scene was there. It's helping others out no matter what. No matter what circumstance, no matter who they are, you help them out. So that's probably another journey by men that led her into being the Yellow Ranger after she took, and then the final test was for her to sacrifice herself for Billy, just like her mother did, and then boom, she woke up, was brought back to life, got her powers, and boom. Like I said, I like, when men try to do the praying mantis thing, I figure, that's like, that gave me a strange idea where, hey, if Hasbro decides to adapt King Osama Sentai King Oja, I say have men come back this time around. She has her mother's powers. And like, this is for my mother. I'm gonna set them aside. I'm gonna create my own path of being a Power Ranger, but I want to honor her. And then, like somebody said, I created these Ranger powers for bug powers. You can have the yellow insectomorpher, so to speak, and you be the yellow mantis ranger that's honoring your mom. Something like that. But I don't know if they're going to do that. But right now they're focused on Cosmic Fury, which is really super cool. Can't wait to see what Cosmic Fury has. I don't know if it'll be a continuation from the movie, so to speak. If Lord says find out his bride was robotic and everything else, came back and everything else, and what Lord said probably get wind of what happened, and he's going to kick it up a notch, maybe. Who knows for sure? I don't know. That will tie into Cosmic Fury. We'll see. We'll see. I know Cosmic Fury. I really how they're gonna reference the episode and all that. Like I said, it's a lot to digest if you are a true hardcore Power Rangers fan. It's a lot. It's hard to digest everything that's been going on, but in the storylines. But then after the movie was over, they did a song with Kimberly. When Tommy lost his Green Ranger powers, and they decided to sing a song with Tommy. And the crazy part is they had a picture of Twee Trang and Jason David Frank in loving memory of Twee Trang and Jason David Frank. I was like, that got me right here. That got me right here. And then in the end credits, they did it had to do the opening credits for each Ranger season. You had the cast, so and so as so and so, which is really really crazy to see that, and had some of the they have some of the pictures from the original series, like they did one for Rocky, they did one for Cat. And had Ron Wasserman returning to do the Power Rangers theme song, and everything. All in all, it's a good. If you're a true Ranger fan, watch this movie. I recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet, I know there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. I do apologize for the spoilers, but you have not seen it yet, go see it. You'll see what I mean. If you probably wouldn't take my word for it, but sometimes I screw up my words. So I recommend seeing the movie. If you have a Netflix account, go see it. If not, get one. If you're a Power Rangers fan, because this is a good movie to say the least. Seeing Johnny Young Bosch, Karen Ashley, get the second season, third season Rangers. And like I said, it's sad we didn't see Austin St. John or Jason David Frank. No, I know Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson were working on projects. I know Austin St. John was looking at Lego Troubles before, and it would have been great to see them at least. But it is what it is. Like I said, another disappointment was they didn't form a Mega Blaster when they let's bring them together, our weapons, and then it didn't have the computer saying Megazord sequence is initiated, Megazord activated. It was sad not seeing Bulk and Skull at least play a bit part. I'll play a little bit of bit part in there, just running around, and all of a sudden they're trying to fight putties off and all that. But they've been, like I said, Bulk was prominent, was featured in Samurai. So there's that as well. And I was mind blown about the whole thing. It was just totally awesome, and it was really cool. The CGI with the Zords and all that, I thought was super cool. I can't believe, I was kind of shocked they turned the command center into a building that Billy, I don't know how Billy make a whole lot of money to the point where he bought the building himself and turned it to Cranston Technologies, and then have, him help out, and then they reference what the Alien Rangers, when Sesri misses you. And so, after I'm done everything here, I'll probably go back, and I'll probably go traveling again. I'll stop by. But then the cool thing is he referenced Miranoi as well. So it's lots of crazy references from each of the seasons, paying tribute to the 30-year legacy of Power Rangers. I thought it was super cool. It was totally awesome. Can't wait to see. I think I'm probably going to see the movie again. I'm probably going to see it because the fact of the matter is I liked it. I enjoyed it. And see if I can. It's a great movie. If you're a hardcore Ranger fan, please watch it. And like I said, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this video. I'm telling you, I'm recommending it right now. I'm going to put a warning in the description so you guys will know. And don't be yelling at me if I put out spoilers and you're yelling at me, you put spoilers out. I warned you to look at the description, pay attention, okay? Or else I'm going to go... But all in all, it's a great movie. I enjoyed it, watched it. Hope it comes out on DVD, but nonetheless, David Yost, great seeing him back, and great seeing him back, and great seeing David Yost back. Great seeing Walter Emmanuel Jones back. Catherine Hillard, Catherine Sutherland looks the same. Steve Cardenas looks the same as well. Johnny Young Bosch as Adam grew a beard. Corinne Ashley, it's good to see her. And it was really cool to see that Min's now part of the team, that it was his family, which is really super cool to see that. So, I like to see more Charlie Kirsch in the Power Ranger season. Like, give her own season. Like I said, if they decide to adapt King Oja, I think she'd be perfect as the Yellow Mantis Ranger. I'm dead serious on that. If Hasbro decided to go the way of King Oja, and they say, why don't we bring back Min's character, Charlie Kirsch's character, Min. Bring back Min as a way to honor her mother in her own Ranger way by having her own Ranger powers instead of taking her mother's powers. And, like I said, it's going to be really cool. So, it's really cool. You got to check it out. Check out the movie. Seriously. Check it out if you haven't already. So that's it. That's my thoughts on the Power Rangers Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always special movie, an hour special, 30-year anniversary special. It's really, really cool. All right. So happy anniversary to the Power Rangers, 30 years, man. Hope we get 30 more years. Rest in peace to Twee Trang and Jason David Frank. My condolences and prayers to the families of those two great legendary actors. They are. We miss them. We miss them immensely, and we wish they were still alive. That it would have made Once and Always even better, getting the original 6 back. But it is what it is. Things happen. Lives change. People change. What can I tell you? So, until the next episode comes rolling around, tonight, AEW Dynamite at 8. We're going to talk a little bit about that, what's going on. A lot of matches are happening. We know there's a TNT title matchup happening. Powerhouse Hobbs defending it against Wardlow in the rematch. You got the Outcast, Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm, the lovely Toni Storm once again, finally going head-to-head with Britt Baker and the AEW Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter. That's going to be a heck of a matchup indeed. So, a lot of stuff's going down. A lot of stuff's happening. So, this concludes episode 514 of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always review. Remember, I will write warning about spoilers in the description. Pay attention to the description. There's a lot of people out there don't pay attention to my description. They complain about it. So, so until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.